Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about my 1956 John Deere 70 diesel. I purchased this tractor somewhere around 2014, I believe. With this tractor, it come pretty much as you see, only there was the hubs on the rear and the weights weren't there, and it had clamshell fenders. This tractor also come with front end weights, and it come with an 801 hitch. This tractor I'm believed to be the third owner of it. It originally was a Western Ohio tractor. I can't tell you that gentleman's name. That information wasn't passed to me, but along with the tractor, I got all the service records for it. It come with the owner's manual, and it come with the service books for it. And in the back of the owner's manual, it has basically every service date that this tractor had ever had. So I know every hour, every oil change, every time this tractor was tuned up, or every time something was majorly done to it. I'll try to get a video of that stuff here and combine it in here at the end or something. But I guess the 70 row crop diesel, it was the first diesel, the first diesel to be a row crop. I believe they started that in 1955. Very, very fuel efficient. Somewhere's around 56, 55 horsepower is what they were rated at. These tractors were actually started with a V4 pony motor. Sits underneath the hood, and the reason for that was to not only heat the coolant, but it also gave something for the winter time that heat the intake with the exhaust gases, so it would more easily be started. But that's that little guy right there. As you can see, he just barely fits in there. Rear end of the tractor, I've got the hitch off of it right now, just mostly for field work purposes. And it's been repainted, and somebody didn't really paint it correctly. They didn't put the decals in the right spot, and they didn't really, the dash should be green. But this is its second tack, and I believe it reads 1858, which I believe the first one cut out around 14 or 1500 is what my book says. So it really don't have that many hours on it. I actually haven't done much work to it. I've serviced the whole diesel system because it sat for quite some time before I had really used it or even bought it. But she runs like a champ. Normally this is what I take to all my plow days. Normally turns heads. I pull a International Model 60 moldboard plow with it. It's 314s. I'll try to throw a video of that in somewhere by the end of this, but there's really not much to it. I guess I'll try to get a good video of starting a pony motor up, letting her warm up a little bit, and then firing the big engine up. I guess since we're trying to get the combine out today to get it set up to run some oats, I figured I had to start the tractor up anyway, so might as well give a brief description of it. It's kind of dusty and kind of dirty right now, but that is my 70 diesel, one of my favorite tractors on the farm. since early spring, well, early summer, late spring, since the 70's been started. So the pony motor had a couple fits with it. Normally it runs a lot better than that, and I don't have to use the choke. But the basic idea is to start in the 70. Just warm it up, get the oil, get the oil in the pony motor warmed up so it can heat the coolant and heat the intake air. And normally I pony the big motor over for just a little bit longer to try to build good oil pressure in the diesel motor, but today it just wasn't running much, very good for that. So normally once you get the big motor rolling, it doesn't fire off too bad. So I guess we'll go for a little bit of a drive, and I'll move this thing down to the next building so I can get that combine out. As you're sitting up here on the 70 diesel, the controls are a little different as like what a gas would be. Got a lot more on the dash. These levers actually activate the pony motor, the throttle, and the choke. This one here is your fuel. This one here, when you're just setting and you push it, it actually activates the fuel gauge, and that way you can tell how much fuel is in it. This is your decompression or starter lever. You pull it all the way back to start it, and you push it about halfway to give it compression again, and that's when you give it diesel fuel and then snap it forward, and that's what starts the pony motor. So just like the G, the 70, it has a 6-speed transmission, but it runs off of a high-low concept. So you're split in 2 gears with this high-low lever. So no 70s ever had a single stick. They kind of just stuck with the G theory for the time, and I'm not quite sure why they did that, but as they went to the 720 and 730, that became a single stick deal. So I guess we'll try to take her up the road and see how she sounds. Diesels, any diesel for that matter. I've got two 720s as well. They're lugging fools, and they run forever, and I can plow all day and even almost the next day on a tank of fuel with this tractor. And I mean, I'm working it fairly decent. I can pull 314s and third in most ground, fourth in some real light grounds, and that's a good 6 to 8 inches deep, which around here that's when you start getting your clay. But they're just beautiful running tractors. I mean, once you get past the knock that you think they're going to fly apart, they're just very, very neat. I mean, you're not going to get that in very many other diesel style tractors that are from 1955. So as far as I'm concerned, John Deere's always been ahead of their time with how they come up with their technology. I mean, basically in 1955 you were running pretty much a John Deere 400 and getting into the 450s, and those engines, they started on gasoline and ran on diesel, and some of them were reliable, but they also had a lot of the engine issues with the heads and the blocks and things like that. And these, yes, they do have a pony motor. That's one more engine to keep track of on the farm, but as long as you start them up, get good oil pressure, and maintain them like you should, they normally hold up just fine. Change the oil when you change the engine oil, and change coolant and things. And you just do your normal services, and a lot of guys, they just fire them up, run them to death, and then shut them down. Well, that's not really what an engine needs to do. You gotta take some time and, you know, maintain them. But I believe the late 720s, I believe they started to come out with a 24-volt system to electrically start them, but they had no way of heating anything. They just decompression, crank her over, and if it was too cold, a lot of times that didn't do it. But this thing here with the pony motor, I can start it. The pony motor fires up. I can start it about any time of the year that I really want. So I guess that's my sales point on these diesel 2-cylinders is that they're just fun, reliable horsepower, and fuel efficient. And, I mean, you can't beat that sound. You just can't beat that knob. I mean, there's something about them that I've always thought that, I mean, I've always wanted one of these. I actually had my 720 diesel first. A friend of mine, it was the first tractor I ever bought. Someday we'll try and do a walk around or a tutorial about it. But for now, we're just taking a stroll on the 70, kind of checking crops out. Corn and the hay, and the beans aren't looking too bad. We could use some rain. Give you a little bit of an outside walk around so we can get clear around it. Got these 9-bolt hubs on here, and I have a set of steel press rims for it, 14938 duals, which I think I've got some videos of it planting corn probably the spring of 16 or 17. I'll try to find those and get these in this video as well, but kind of dresses her up, makes it unique. The flat top fenders, those are not factory for a 70. I think those could have been a late option on a 720, and they were definitely an option on a 730. I basically just got them on there, so plow days, and when we're farming with it, which we still use it to farm some, I can have a passenger with me, so it's a lot better than the clamshell. And it just idles away about 700 RPMs, what they're supposed to be idling at. Max RPM's about 1250 is where it's set at, I believe. So kind of gives you a view. I added these Firestone tires to it. It actually had a very, very, very nice set of Goodyear 14938. I'm not sure what they're called, but they look very original. They have the diamonds on the side of them, so I'm gonna put those on my 70 all fuel because it's a little more collectible. So since we use this, thought the Firestones would dress it up pretty nice. There she is. Like I said, by far one of my favorite tractors. About every time you get on it, you hear that thing fire up, it makes you smile. I mean, it's just one of those things. I don't know if you can see it, but that front end, she's a bobbing up and down. Every diesel should do that. So you definitely see it in person. I'm not seeing it through the camera though. So there she is. So we're getting ready to back the 70 in the shed over here and had to get the 630 out. So there's two of my favorite tractors on the farm, all wrapped up. 630 was in the last video I posted, actually the first one I ever posted. It's running some 400 series John Deere cultivators. If you like this video, you can go check that out. Hopefully, out of the 30-some tractors we've got, hopefully I can get through all of them and just kind of compare everything. Alright, we're getting ready to shut the 70 off. Hopefully you can hear me over it. Something very important you need to do when you shut all these two-cylinder diesels off is, if it's a 20 or 30 series, there'll always be a decompression lever over here. You always need to pull that when you shut it off to let that crank keep running. That crank and flywheel stops on a dime because these have such high compression. It breaks things, it loosens things, and it makes the life of these tractors a lot shorter. So on the 70, what I do is idle her down real good. It's actually a stop button, and you pull it, and then you push the decompression. That way she can motor over and you don't have to worry about everything stopping at once. Another thing I also forgot is when you start these tractors, you need to shut the gas off on the pony motor because you don't know how long they're going to sit, and the last thing you want to do is pull that hood off to be able to try to get that carburetor out and have to redo them, because a lot of these pony motors, they didn't run like top. So you gotta do strict maintenance and do, you know, I put good clean fuel in. I try at the end of the year, try to put wreck fuel in it that has no ethanol and such things like that. So there we have it, 1955 John Deere 70 diesel. Alright, so I just got home and I pulled up the literature here for my 70, and how I was telling you about how I have every service record to date for this tractor. Here's the original owner's manual, and it is a 56. I stand corrected. I said it was a 55 numerous times in the video, and that was definitely not right. So there it is. There is from 56 to 61. This page has from 62 basically to 76. And I think I have another page. Well, if you look at the hours, 1439. And over here we go to 1691 on that tack. And we have the rest of it. And I bought it in 15, or no, yeah, 15. I was wrong on that as well. So there you have it. If you take good records, you can definitely see that I believe it pays off, because I know all the history. And with that stuff, I got some other books. Don't know why there's paint in there, but it's probably the paint that's on the tractor. Some brush hog stuff. And here's the 801 hitch manual for it. And I also forgot to mention that I have a sunshade for it from Deere, and he purchased it in 85. And some carb stuff, and I actually got 720 literature with it, and the 720 parts book. And then electrical systems. So some cool things of the past that the 70 diesel come with. Be sure to like my videos. Hopefully I can continue to keep making more of them, and if you like what you're seeing, make sure you subscribe. So thank you very much and have a great day.